Hello, lovely writers, and welcome to another Writerly Wednesday. This week, I wanted to talk about something that came up because I realized that we're almost on top of the London Book Fair. And what happens at the London Book Fair, other than amazing wheeling and dealing and hopefully contract offers for your manuscript, is that agents, publishers, and writers are going to have to be ready to do the pitch. When I say the pitch, I really mean an elevator pitch. Now, what is that? It's a really concise way of talking about what you've written and why it's so important or compelling for a potential publisher or reader to read. So it's really important that we get this. So today I'm going to share 3 tips, or my top 3 tips on what I suggest you do to get ready for an elevator pitch. Number 1, I want you to start to practice by video. Now, you can relax. Nobody necessarily needs to watch any of the videos, but the reason that this can be really important is because when we first get started, we can really feel like we're stumbling over our words, and it really benefits you, especially if you're going to a workshop, seminar, or retreat where you may get to be one-on-one situation with a potential agent or publisher, for you to be able to comfortably and confidently express what your manuscript is about in a way that makes them want to read more. It's all well and good, in fact, incredibly important to practice your writing, but even more so to get ready to pitch verbally. So practice on video, watch it back. Even if you don't watch it back, getting the practice of something like what I'm doing right now, getting yourself ready to say over and over and over what it is you're writing and why it's so important can be really, really great practice. Number 2, I want you to try to keep it to 100 words or less. And that can feel really challenging, right? Obviously, you have the passion and the interest in your topic to be able to write an entire novel or nonfiction book, which could be up to 100,000 words. So why am I asking you to get it down to 100? Well, simply this. You have to be able to convey why somebody wants to read your book in 100 words or less, because if you can't get those right, they're not going to read it. So being able to be convincing in such a short pitch is really, really important. It's not the be-all, end-all. You don't include everything in it, right? A normal synopsis is 250 to 350 words. But try practicing reading out. When we say practice on video, read out a full page of words and see how long that takes. It's going to be too long. You will have lost the interest of someone unless they're being paid to listen to you. And we don't want that. You've spent all of this beautiful time on your manuscript. You want them to read it. So that's why we want to be able to convince somebody to read it in 100 words or less. Now, third, I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty a little bit for you. If you've written a nonfiction book, I want you to practice sharing why you've written it, what you've actually written, and what problem in the world does it solve, or what problem is it investigating, and who is it that is going to be reading this. If you get those 3 things, I really think you're going to come up with a compelling pitch, a really short and impassioned pitch that's going to make an editor or agent want to read the manuscript. If, however, you've written fiction, I want you to get your elevator pitch all around the genre and what we would call a log line in screenwriting, which is, again, an even more shortened version of what we're talking about. This can often be what people consider the high concept comparison. So, like Bridget Jones meets Harry Potter, which is totally made up and not something I expect anybody should or would write, but it gives you an idea. I want you to be able to come up with, I've written a rom-com about what it's like for a woman who's afraid of showing her true colors to XYZ. Whatever it is, I want you to get really comfortable at sharing just a really brief, intriguing log line so that the agent or editor is like, my curiosity is piqued. Send me the synopsis, send me the first 3 chapters, whatever it is. And again, you go back and you practice saying it by video. This might sound a little bit woo-woo, but it's absolutely true based on the elevator pitches that I've seen people do. There's something to the energy that you have when you're saying it. If it feels like you are not fully convinced or excited by your own idea and you're not clear on what you're saying, the agent or editor is going to fear that the manuscript you've written is just as unclear or lacking passion. And I know that's not the case for you. So that's why those 3 things: practice on video, keep it to 100 words or less, if at all possible. And you can always start longer and winnow it and winnow it and winnow it down. That's totally doable. And thirdly, if you're writing nonfiction, get really clear on the why you've written it, what problem you're solving or what you're looking at, and who really needs to read this. Or if you've written fiction, what's the genre and what's that really concise log line that's going to have somebody say, ooh, I'm really intrigued by that. That's interesting. If you have any questions, as always, please send me an email to anjanette@storyaslife.com, or you can comment below this video. Otherwise, you will see me next time on another Writerly Wednesday. Until then, wishing you a beautiful and wonderful Writerly week. Bye, guys.